My name is Georges de Giorgio. I was born in the south of France in October of 1928. Yeah, I came here in 1995 and I never went back. So I've been here, how many years is it? 95, 05, 18 years. They agreed that they liked me and so I got hired. Then about 2 years after that, Harry said, "You got to write a book about your stay here." And by that time, 2 nuns had died. And I said, "Well, we're going to have to wait." Then the next year, another 3 nuns died. And he kept telling me, "When was I going to write a book?" And I said, "Well, right now there's only Sister Francis left. And I've got to wait because the name of the book is, and then there were none." I like history a lot. There's a lot of history in Montana, in all this part of the world. But I do a lot of cross-country skiing here and snowshoeing, and I run the rescue boat and hiking. So I think when you travel a lot in sailing ships and you go to faraway places in the world, you meet people you would have never met in your everyday life. Colonel Saavedra said, "What do you want, kid?" And I said, "I've got this letter here." And he took the letter and said, No, we don't want to see you. We want to see the explorer, the famous guy who went to Antarctica with the Americans." I said, "That's me." They told me to go home and come back the next morning before 8 o'clock in the morning to sail to Antarctica. So I turned out to be the youngest person who had ever wintered south of the polar circle, Antarctic.
Can you tell us about Jenny?
Yeah. Jenny was probably 20 or 21 years old. We became good friends from the very beginning. Actually, when they decided that we were going to split the mess duties, we volunteered together so we could do the dishes and hold hands under the soapy water. Yeah. And Hemingway from his boat said, "You been to Havana before, kid?" He called me kid. He asked me where I had been and where I had sailed, and the Antarctica thing came up, and I told him I had been 2 years in Antarctica, and then that I had sailed in the South Pacific. And he said, "You know what?" He said, "You should write a book." Yeah, I tell, young people who come here that better than reading any books is to be there. Like when they read about, let's say, France or Greece or Italy, I said, if you spend one day there, it's better than any book you read. You get the feeling of the feeling of the place, the smell of the place. You see the people, and I think traveling is a great education.